Gather around the fire, folks, and let me tell you a story that'll make your blood run cold. It's a tale of deception, betrayal, and a family torn apart by the very person they trusted most. Our story begins in the quiet suburbs of Markham, Toronto, where the Pan family lived a seemingly ordinary life. Han and Bic Pan were Vietnamese immigrants who'd made a life for themselves in Canada, working hard to provide for their 2 children, Jennifer and Felix. From the outside, they seemed like the perfect family, but little did they know the darkness that was brewing right under their noses. Now, before we dive too deep into the twisted world of Jennifer Pan, let me set the stage a bit. You see, Jennifer was a product of what's known as tiger parenting, a strict and unforgiving style of child rearing common in many Asian households. In a tiger family, failure is not an option, and the pressure to succeed is relentless. Jennifer's parents had high expectations for her, and she was expected to excel in everything she did, from academics to extracurricular activities. But here's the thing, Jennifer wasn't cut out for that kind of pressure. She was a master of deception, and from a young age, she learned to lie and manipulate her way through life. As the years went by, Jennifer's lies grew more elaborate, and her desperation to keep up the charade became more intense. She forged transcripts, faked graduation ceremonies, and even hired actors to play the part of her professors and classmates. All the while, her parents remained blissfully unaware, clinging to the belief that their daughter was living up to their lofty expectations of becoming a pharmacist. But here's where things take a twisted turn. Jennifer wasn't just lying to her parents, she was living a double life. While her parents thought she was diligently studying and working towards a bright future, Jennifer was actually spending her time with her boyfriend, Daniel Wong, and his shady crew. Daniel and his friends weren't exactly upstanding citizens. They were involved in all sorts of unsavory activities, from drug dealing to armed robbery. And Jennifer was right in the thick of it, drawn into their world like a moth to a flame. But the truth has a way of coming out, no matter how hard you try to bury it. And for Jennifer, that moment of reckoning came in the most horrific way imaginable. On November 8th, 2010, the Pan family's lives were shattered forever. That night, 3 armed men broke into their home, guns blazing and demanding money. What followed was a scene straight out of a nightmare. Bic Pan was shot and killed. Han Pan was shot in the neck and left fighting for his life. And Jennifer was found tied to the banister upstairs, with a mere shoelace, but unharmed. Jennifer's brother Felix was away at university when the home invasion and murder occurred, sparing him from being present during the traumatic attack. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, wow, what a horrible tragedy for that family. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. You see, those armed men weren't random intruders. They were hired by none other than Jennifer Pan herself. That's right, folks. Jennifer, the daughter they'd pinned all their hopes and dreams on, had orchestrated the whole thing. She'd hired those men to break into her family's home and kill her parents, all in a twisted effort to escape the pressure and expectations that had been weighing her down for years. As the investigation into the Pan family home invasion unfolded, the details that emerged were nothing short of chilling. Through her boyfriend Daniel's shady connections, Jennifer got in touch with a local gangster named Lenford Crawford, a man with a rap sheet longer than my arm and a reputation for getting things done, no matter how unsavory the task. And what was the task Jennifer had in mind, you ask? Well, nothing less than hiring Crawford and his crew to break into her family's home and murder her parents in cold blood. Now at this point, you might be wondering, but why would she go to such extreme lengths? Couldn't she just have run away or cut ties with her family? Well, that's the thing about people like Jennifer. They don't think like the rest of us. For her, this wasn't just about escaping the pressure cooker of her parents' expectations. It was about control. According to the experts, Jennifer's actions were driven by a deep-seated narcissism and a disturbing lack of empathy, traits that are often hallmarks of personality disorders like narcissistic personality disorder or even psychopathy. For people like Jennifer, the world revolves around their own desires and needs, and anyone who gets in the way, even their own family, is expendable. It's a chilling thought, but one that's all too real in cases like these. And so, like a twisted puppeteer, Jennifer pulled the strings, planning every detail of the home invasion, down to the last horrifying moment. In the end, despite her best efforts to play the victim, the truth eventually came out, and Jennifer found herself facing the ultimate reckoning for her actions. In a courtroom drama that played out over 10 grueling months, the shocking details of her twisted plan were laid bare for all to see, and the jury was left with no choice but to find her guilty of the ultimate betrayal, the murder of her own mother and the attempted murder of her father. The daughter from hell, as the press branded her, received the harshest punishment. Jennifer Pan was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years. Her father's heart-wrenching victim statement sealed her fate. When I lost my wife, I lost my daughter too. Some say I should feel lucky to be alive, but I feel like I'm dead as well.